Hey guys. It's been kind of a while since I really made a video where I sat down and talked about myself, but also art and my journey and my channel. I've been really letting go of my channel. Partially it's a good thing because I needed a break. And I think also it's good because I'm shaping my approach and my relationship to my channel. This footage is me. I'm digging out a area for an underground tree farm. So that's what you're seeing here. I'll share some more of this Minecraft world. Not probably not in this video, and maybe in the next video. I actually want to share more of this world and my creative projects in it because I've realized that if you've been following my channel at all for a while now, you might know that I really struggle with visual art, with painting and drawing, and quite frankly despise it. I have found a way, I've let go of some of my expectations, some of my perfectionism, trying to not focus so much on like realism, allowing myself to paint things that kind of suck. It I don't hate it as much, and it's nice, but I still don't like it. I don't enjoy it. And it doesn't come easy to me at all. But something I realized playing Minecraft is that I find it extremely easy. It comes into I'm very intuitively like honed in on it. And I think it's the difference of 3D versus 2D. I can if I'm building something, I can come over here and look at it, or I can look at it from this angle, and I can be able to understand it more. And I understand how to experiment. I can experiment, and it's like I don't like this the way this looks. I don't quite know maybe what to do instead, but I'll experiment. With art, like I'll place, maybe I'll change the color of the block, maybe I'll change the block entirely, maybe I change the design. And but with painting, it's like I don't even understand how to experiment. I don't, I guess, change the color of what I'm painting, but like I can really only copy. I can only copy what I'm seeing. Whereas with Minecraft, it's just like I just build shit. I don't know. It just happens. I find building and creating structures or environments is just comes naturally to me in Minecraft. And I've been really enjoying it. And for a while I was really struggling because I wanted to share it with people. I wanted to share it, but I was terrified of sharing it online. And I also, for a while now, for many months, have been part of why I've had a decline in my videos is because I realized like I don't get I, I'm creating the videos to share it with people, but I'm not really getting that human interaction. I'm not getting that face to face or even online talking to someone interaction by sharing what I'm making with my videos. It feels very performative, and I'm alone. I'm alone trying to get people's attention. I'm alone and I'm trying to get people to notice me, to care. And it sucks. And I haven't had anyone in my life who I could share things with. Not really, anyway. I have my therapist who I've shared some of my paintings with, but I hate painting, so it didn't really matter much that I shared them. I don't feel anything. I don't feel any happiness or joy. I feel quite frankly uncomfortable and afraid when I share my paintings and art with him. And I've only had really one friend, and he's so busy all the time, I don't really get a chance to show him the things that I make. And I'm self-conscious about sharing, but recently I had a chance to talk to him, and I shared my this Minecraft world with him, and it felt amazing. It felt like it I was struggling to get myself to stop sharing. I was struggling not to smile, or I wasn't struggling to smile. I was smiling. I was beaming, in fact. And I loved every moment of it, being able to show him. And I just was just like bountiful of energy, just like what can I show him next? What can I show him next? Just like that is what I miss. That is what I love about art. That is like half of the reason why I make art, is to be able to share what I care about with someone, and for them to, well, to just be able to share it with someone, right? I have tried sharing my art, my Minecraft world, with someone who doesn't give a shit, who kept trying to leave after like 5 minutes and didn't say anything and just tried to just say what he thought I wanted to hear. He just did not care. And it was someone that is close to me who should care, but you know, basically, it sucked. And I felt nothing. And that's kind of what it's similar to what I feel when sharing online. Is that it's like no one cares. And that's kind of understandable because it's online, you're on the internet. Like, people, generally speaking, are not on the internet to really invest in other people. They're there to escape and to help themselves, and I don't blame them for that, right? I don't think they should change. I do long for a world where people are kinder online and are try and put more effort into fulfilling other people, not just themselves. And I think there probably are some people out there like that. And a practical example, this is like, I try, anytime I watch a video, I try to give like genuine care in the comments. Like, I genuinely try and show them like, this is amazing. I always try and compliment them, and in a genuine way too. Like, something that I think they did really well, or is very beautiful, or I appreciate their video. I But the point is, going back to the previous point, is that it sucks. Sharing stuff online sucks. There is no personal interaction. Like with my friends, like, even if he didn't really care, I know he does care, but just hypothetically, if he didn't really care, having a friend is, you still commit, you still sacrifice for that person. And that means something. That's part of relationships, is giving for the other person. And there really is no giving online. It's just so it's alone. I'm sharing this alone. Like right now, I'm rambling. I'm basically rambling to myself. And as soon as I start thinking about, like, well, who's going to listen to this? Is anyone even listening now? Is anyone going to hear this? Am I going to get 0 views? Am I going to get 1 view? That's discouraging. That's disheartening. I don't know if I'm going to continue making videos, because I want to share what I love, and I'm trying to learn how to focus on what I love. Part of what's corrupted me with my channel is trying to feel like I'm being productive, to try and feel like I'm building something, that I'm not just wasting my time away, that I'm not just wasting away myself, that I'm being productive. And part of it, I started because I had a dream of being a YouTuber as a little kid. You know, I think most people's dream nowadays is that, but YouTube gave me so much, it helped me so much growing up, and it's been such a big part of my life, but now it's like sucking me dry. It's a poison that I'm constantly on YouTube at every waking moment I can be. You know, as soon as the silence starts, I run to a YouTube video. And I didn't used to be like that. I used to be able to sit in the silence, and I actually try to reach out to the silence to be able to process and contemplate and just be with myself. And recently, with how horrendous my life has become, I find that incredibly difficult to do. But, and I'm sure once I can get out of this hump that I'm in my current situation, I'll be able to, because I'm internally just screaming at all times because of how just frustrated and in pain I am in, and the amount of anger I'm feeling at all times. And something I realized, though, I see I'm rambling again, I'm changing subjects, ping-ponging everywhere, but something I realized, though, is that I'm making myself more angry because a lot of the videos I've started to watch are political, are about people being wronged, about things going wrong in the news. And not just strictly not the news, but like people talking about things that are happening, like the Epstein stuff, or Trump. A lot of just politics in general. I don't listen to strictly the news. Fuck that. I hate the news. I don't want to ever watch the news, like actual news, like Fox or any. I feel bad naming, but not Fox in particular. Like I don't know anybody on there or have any grudges against them. I have a grudge against the news in general. Any news I listen to is personal people speaking about things online. Shit, how did I get onto this topic? Let's see. Online. Oh yeah, getting angry. I'm just, my situation has been just absolutely horrendous, and I don't really know how to get out of the situation I'm in. But I found escapism in YouTube, and it became it's become a problem. It's become a very big problem for me, how much I am trying to escape. And I've lost the goal of trying to share what I care about. I've lost that. All I care about, I shouldn't say all I care about, because I still sometimes make videos that I care about, but it's very much dialed back. I'm constantly thinking about, like, well, no one's gonna like this, no one's gonna watch this, no one's gonna care. And it prevents me from making videos, and it prevents me from when I am making videos that are very true to me and my voice. And that sounds like, very hippie, like, how is that practical? Practically, that could look like I don't share what I'm really feeling or thinking, or how I really feel about something, a video game or a piece of art. Like, I would not have admitted, I would have completely steered clear from the topic of the fact that I'm struggling, that I'm angry, that I feel like for a long time, I feel like I was dying. I was living, but I was just dying out. That I was just a corpse, just moving on its own. I wouldn't have admitted that in the past. But I'm less and less afraid of speaking truthfully about myself. I'm becoming less and less afraid of just speaking about myself in general. And I'm constantly afraid that I'm a narcissist, that I'm a selfish piece of shit. Like, and sharing myself online, or sharing myself in general, is just what a selfish narcissist would do. No, I'm not saying that's what a selfish narcissist would do. It's what I'm afraid of, and that's why I try and steer clear of it. I'm afraid that's what just a narcissistic, selfish person would do, and that's what I would be doing online. And I think a big part of what fuels that is the fact that it's not a back and forth. It's not a giving situation. It's not giving. Me making videos is not giving to someone else, and then sometimes I I take. It's just me, me, me. So of course it's understandable how I feel this is a selfish endeavor, because it is selfish. This is selfish of me, that I'm spending time talking about myself, sharing things about myself, and not giving to anyone else. Now, being selfish, I'm realizing it is not actually a bad thing. We have to be selfish to survive. We have to be selfish to make it through the day. Like, if you were not selfish, selfishness, if you had no selfishness, you wouldn't eat, you wouldn't sleep, you wouldn't drink water. It would be everything for other people. You would give your body for other people. So we need some level of selfishness on some degree. It's just, where does that degree become bad? When does it become harmful for ourselves and for other people? And I think, thinking about it this way, even as I'm talking through it now, I generally, like, I really process things by talking them out. So maybe I'll make more videos like this, because it's actually very therapeutic for me right now. And hopefully very therapeutic for you as well. To be able to hear what I'm saying, maybe you can grow from it like I'm growing from it. But it makes me realize right now that it's the intention, and that I can focus my energy. Where's my goal? Where's my intention? And I want my intention to be, how can I help other people? You know, I have lost sight of that desire. I had a burning fucking desire, a fucking ravenous desire to help people when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, and when I became a young adult, like junior, senior year of high school, I really started to go down this path of selfishness. That's when it started. And my I think my fear of other people, my phobia, I really did have a phobia of people growing up. My fear of other people, how they will treat me, how they react to me, how they will judge me, really stopped me, prevented me from being able to help others. And it kept me in a loop of just selfishness that just grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And I've become more and more selfish over the years. And, you know, just binge watching YouTube and not giving anything to anybody, not talking to anybody, not sacrificing, because I have no one to sacrifice things for in my life. It made me more and more selfish. And I will give myself the benefit of the doubt a little bit here, some grace, is that the people in my life who are there, who I could sacrifice for, would just take, and abuse me for it. And I had to become selfish to survive in this environment. But I will say is that I at least have my best friend, Tony. He means the world to me. He is the most important person in my life. Oh, I'm starting to tear up. And he is just the best human being I have ever met. He is just an amazing person. He's an he is the best human being I have ever met. He means so fucking much to me. And I will sacrifice for him anything. And I will fight for our friendship and our relationship. And when I mean a relationship, I mean like my relation to him. Like, I see him as my brother. I think it's unfortunate how much we people have misconstrued what relationship means. I think people just associate like romantic anytime you hear someone hears the word relationship, but really it means you know, your relation to that person, or even a thing, an inanimate object. You know, like, I have a relationship to my computer. I have a relationship to movies and just objects, paintings, whatever it may be. Wow, that I'm feeling a very large amount of emotional release after crying about how much my best friend means to me. Oh wow. It's good to get those emotions out. I feel so much lighter. I think maybe that's to talk about myself a little bit. Maybe that's because when my grandpa passed away, he meant that much to me, and him dying was like a part of me died, and I never wanted anyone to mean anything like that to me again because of how badly it hurt me when he died. So having Tony in my life, he, I was actively trying to avoid having someone in my life mean so much to me. But he still showed up, and he still changed my life for the better. So I want to give hope to people who are alone that you will eventually find someone that cares about you and that you can mesh well together with, because that's a big thing. Is like, all my life I've been alone. I've had other people around, but a lot of those have treated me poorly or have been indifferent, and I have not been able to connect with other people. I've always felt like I'm an alien. I've always felt like other people are human beings and I'm an alien. I'm a different species than them. And not in a better way, but like in a way of like for example, an analogy I thought of was, I feel like like think about how a giraffe and a tree frog could communicate with one another. Like, animals have communication styles. They have body language. They make sounds. They have their own communications through interspecies, right? A tree frog and a giraffe can't communicate with one another. They're so different. They're different on different, species. Whereas, like, you could see, I've seen stories of like a bear and a wolf getting along together. They're very different, but they could still work together. A giraffe and a tree frog could not do that even on a little bit of a level. And that's the difference I've felt with most people. I have felt a bit like a bear and a wolf. The story I'm thinking of is a little bear and wolf would hunt and live together and coexisted. And I have felt that way with people sometimes, very rarely, but only with Tony do I feel like we are on the same wavelength. We are the same species. I feel like I'm a human being for once when I get to talk to him and interact with him. And it took me 22 years until I finally found that relationship. And then another 2 to 3 years to really build that relationship to where now we're close enough to like, I feel like he matters so much to me, that he cares, and that we are on the same wavelength. It took a long time and a lot of effort, but I realized with him is like, he is worth the effort, and I fight for our relationship. I fight for it because we never fight. We never really get into conflict, but if we did, I do put the effort in to make sure that he is being heard and that we're coexisting. We're thriving together. And I just want to encourage you that you will eventually find someone who you can get along with like that, who you can connect with and who cares about you and you can care about them. And it might take a while. It might not. I think for men in particular right now, I feel like it's a bit harder to find that connection. not to talk about current state of things. I think I'm very biased in my opinion in many ways and many reasons, and I think it might be unhealthy to share on men's health and all that. But I do think like men are struggling. Well, men are struggling. That's a fact. Men are struggling in so many ways, and loneliness is a big part of that. And that's something I could talk about for a while, but it's difficult. What I will say though is that if you don't put yourself out there, you will never find a relationship. But caveat, because I think you hear that all the time, I think generally speaking, we do put ourselves out there. Oh, innately, I think there is very few human being. Shit. That. Oh no. That was a special. Fuck. That was a special pickaxe that I had named, and that was supposed to be the pickaxe for this project, and I was gonna put it on the wall. I was gonna mount it on the wall once I was finished using it. Shit. I got to talking to it, bro. Alright, well I gotta go make a new one. I guess you'll get to see a part of my world. Even though I wanted to have it be a surprise. But whatever. Oh no, I'm really distracted too from doing this, having to... what was I talking about? I was talking about male loneliness, right? I really do believe there are people out there who you can mesh well together with, and it just you innately will find them. I think the whole idea of like putting yourself out there is kind of bullshit. I don't fully believe it because I think we do put ourselves out there constantly and we're just not really aware of it. We think putting ourselves out there is this huge thing where you put all this effort in and it's like this huge task. And a lot of ways it is. And that's what burns us out and hurts us so much. And so I think we innately do put ourselves out there. And to cut yourself some slack, I just happened upon my relationship with Tony. It just happened. It didn't really I didn't like force it. I didn't like put myself in uncomfortable situations to be able to meet him. I just found him in my life through meeting other people who I met through other people who I just happened to be around. And it wasn't like I put a whole lot of effort into into friendships with them. It just happened naturally. So I want to encourage you that that you will find people you can connect with naturally, and it's not a huge force thing. Now, there's obviously some effort you have to put in to be able to meet people. Like, if you're uncomfortable, go out and do stuff, regardless of how you feel sometimes. But cut yourself major slack. I think a big part of today's problems is people are too hard on themselves and they think they're not doing good enough, but they have too high of expectations of themselves and of other people. And in reality, like, you're okay. You're doing okay. Everything's okay. In all honesty. Or not that everything is okay. Well, yeah, everything is okay. Not everything. Things are okay. Might be hard to see those things, but your effort that you're putting in is good. You are trying, and don't burn yourself out or try too hard, because that'll really kill you. That'll kill you. It'll kill you. I think that's what's a lot of ways killed me over the years, is just trying way too hard and expecting too much from myself, and other people expecting too much from me. But that's a whole nother topic. I want to get back to, what was I talking about before this? I was rambling about YouTube and about friends and Tony and sharing YouTube. Right. Wow, that was a detour in topics. Talking about sharing my art and sharing what I care about. That, I think, is my new goal. Excuse me, sorry. My nose is really stuffy after crying. My new goal is to share what I care about. I don't want to make art to feel productive. I don't want to make art because I feel like I have to, because I have some innate talent at it at some level, at some degree. I don't want to make art because it's what I've always done and that's all I feel like I can do. I want to share what I fucking care about. Then that's what I'm gonna fucking do. So, and part of what's inspired me to think this way is a YouTuber. I watched a YouTuber's video earlier called Adam Duff. He's got some amazing art talks. He's like he's an amazing art dad, and he's really got some an amazing amount of insight and care. He really cares about the viewer. He really cares about people's mental health, about how artists in general, people in general, but artists in particular, how they're affected in today's world, how we think, how we feel, how we're hurting. And he really cares and has insight on how to help people. And I really recommend his channel. His channel is Adam Duff Lucid Pixel. Or Lucid Pixel, I believe is the other part. Lucid Pixel. I can't remember exactly, but if you look Adam Duff up, you'll find him. He's got some amazing videos. Truly amazing. I really recommend his channel and listening to him. He's very helpful and insightful and a positive, very positive impact on YouTube and artists overall. But I was listening to his video that came out about numbers and how the numbers game of YouTube has really corrupted the process of making art. It has really corrupted the process, and we care too much about the numbers instead of getting invested in the actual art itself. I know I definitely got corrupted by the numbers. And I really recommend you go listen to him talk about this, because I would not do it justice. And it's, generally speaking, not what I really want to talk about right now. So really recommend you go check out his most recent video on this. What I will talk about, though, is, yeah, I just really care. I want to share what I care about. And for me, that is video games. That involves video games on some fundamental level. And I have some screenshots. If you've checked out my videos, you might have seen a couple of them of like beautiful moments in gaming. And I plan on sharing more of those. I just played through all of the first and second Metro games. Which I realized with gaming, I don't have a favorite a favorite game or a couple favorite games anymore. I have favorite game series? I think that's how you say that. Series? What's the plural of series? Different series, I guess. Series, yeah. Which is Resident Evil. I really love the Resident Evil series. In particular, certain ones. And I really love the Metro games a lot. I found Metro Exodus many years ago, but I didn't quite enjoy. I hadn't quite tried the others in the series quite yet. I did play through a little bit of the second one many years ago, but I couldn't really get into it. I was very much like a hardcore CS:GO, Smite, Overwatch player back then. I didn't care for single player games at all. I could barely finish any single player games, let alone start any. But I've definitely, as I've gotten older, appreciate them to the point where like I only play single player games now for the most part. Like I play CS:GO once a week to get my weekly drop, and that's it. I don't play any other online games. But it's I love the Metro games. I love them so much. I love them so much. Um, I'm scared to share why right now. Again, I think that feeling of like selfishness. It's like you've been listening to me ramble for so long. Why should I just keep going on about this about Metro? But it's like I think that distinction is I've been talking about what has been hurting me in ways that I've gotten better, in ways that I'm thinking about it, because that I believe in talking about things like that can help others. And I want to help others. And I think maybe you could come to some conclusions or understand more after listening to me talk about that. But me talking about Metro Exodus or the Metro games or any games in general that I like and I care about is just innately selfish. It is just purely selfishness. Because I'm just talking about what I care about. Shit. This is really hard for me. It's like, oh, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough to get to do. I'm really afraid. I'm like locking up and numbing out right now, trying to talk about this. But practice. I guess it'll take practice. A lot of this comes to because of like all my life sharing things about myself that I care about have always been met with criticism and judgment, and the other person just does not fucking care. You know, any quote unquote friends I had in the past just gave zero shits about what I cared about. Um, and my own family just has never cared about my interests or what I like ever. The most I've ever gotten out of my family for that is sometimes, every once in a while, my dad asks me when I go to the movies, like, what did I think of the movie? What did I see? And that's it. And he won't like listen to me talk about the movie. It's just that simple question, and that's very rarely, and that's it. So it's no one in my life has ever cared about me really. They've just yeah. So it's tough. It's tough for me to express that about what I care about because it's just I've so used to just being rejected and shunned and judged for those things. So you know the internet is a very brutal and nasty place. So it's not like I'm sharing what I care about with like Tony or someone I can trust, like my therapist. Even with my therapist, I struggle to share what I care about, even though I know I can trust him. So I am putting myself in a position of sharing with a quote unquote entity that is known for being very harsh and judgmental and distrustful. All the things that I received growing up that was so painful for me. Um, this is tough. This is tough. I don't know. I might. Well, I have to try. I have to try. I'm going to try. So with Metro, the Metro games, um, they are very immersive. That's what a big part of why I like them. I really like immersive games, games that can really suck you in, that pull you in. And what I love about the immersion of the Metro games is that I need more deep slate tile or bricks. Um, what? Oh wow. Okay, I have to go collect more. Oh yeah, I guess you'll see more of my world still, even though I wanted to be surprised. Oh well, probably a lot of you watching this are might not see my world in the next video I make. If you do, well, maybe if I share some of what you see. Okay, if you if I share some of what's there, maybe you'll be enticed to go check it out. um, yeah, a big part of why. Oh, these are different. Interesting. Where's my song? Here it is. Sorry, this is. Oh, this is just the wrong tile. Oops. This is what I need. Okay. Oh wow, I have no more deep slate. That is very surprising. I thought I had a lot more than that. With Metro, you can be very immersed because the audio, there's emphasis on realistic audio, and there's a lot of background sounds, but it's not obnoxious. You can get pulled in. There is there's no UI, which I really think with video games that helps is very limited to no UI. Uh, so like Dead Space. Dead Space was the first games that I kind of realized this about games is that, and that's a big part of why I love games, is the limited UI, limited UI can really break the immersion. And actually, I play games with no UI a lot of the times if I have the option. Like I've been playing through Resident Evil, the Resident Evil games. I've been playing through. I turn off UI, and it makes the game a lot more challenging in a lot of ways. But it's immersive, more immersive, which I really love. What's good? Something else I love about Metro is little things like you have to wear a mask when you go outside because of the toxic fumes and radiation. Which, if you don't know anything about the Metro games, highly recommend you check them out. I don't want to spoil anything, but basically, you have to wear a mask anytime you go out in the outdoors outside, or else you could suffocate pretty quickly. And it rains a lot. There's like toxic rain and radiation. And what's cool is the rain actually gets on your mask. And there's like a button you press G if you're playing on mouse and keyboard. You press G and you wipe your mask, and it feels very real, like you're really doing it. Or like you have a lighter, or instead of a, and you can like you have to press M. Like there's a lot of different key binds you have to press to do certain things. It's not like you press escape and then you go into the pause menu and you pull out you don't even pull out the journal and you go in the pause menu. It's not like that. It's not like a menu you go into and you see your inventory or anything like that. Like it's very realistic to where if you want to pull out your journal in the game, you have a literal clipboard that you hold the M button, and your character literally pulls out a clipboard with notes jotted down on it. And there's no like interface for it. You just have to look at it, and you can like pull out a lighter to be able to see what you're looking at. Or there's like cobwebs everywhere. You have to pull out the lighter to be able to burn the cobwebs, or else you'll get stuck in them. Or with a flashlight, you have a rechargeable flashlight that that burns out, so you have to recharge it by this device. And it's again not like you go in your inventory and you like replace the batteries in a slot, in this UI slot. It's like you have to actually like pull out the charger and like pull a crank to charge it, and it's just so it's so immersive, and I love it. I fucking love it. I love the immersion. I love the immersion in games in general, and a big part of that is no UI and very hands-on mechanics. Hands-on, like you physically see your character doing the action, and it's not obnoxious, like too realistic to where it's like a tedious task that's annoying. It's very tasteful, even, I would say. You tastefully have to charge your flashlight, or like you can find night vision goggles, and you have to those burn out your battery, or like the charger quicker, and so you have to charge your battery, so to speak, more often. It's just and you can it's just so I love the Metro games. I love them so much. I really like Metro Exodus, especially because, well, it's updated, it's newer, so they kind of each game they get better and better at the mechanics. Like they really, in a lot of games they kind of game series is they kind of throw things out, or they don't really hone in on certain aspects to make them better. But with Metro, it's like each game they just each one just gets better and better. Just, oh man. And what I really like about Metro Exodus in particular is you get to explore outside a lot. Like the majority of the game is outside in different environments, whereas the first two games you're mostly indoors. In the second game, you get to explore outside more often, but it's still not all the time. It's a bit more infrequent. I will say my favorite levels, chapters in the game, are the ones where you get to explore outside, and you get to see the wildlife and how it kind of interacts with the world. Like there's overgrown areas with almost like these tree roots that are alive that'll attack you or like whip at you. And there's these bugs that are hover around bodies. And there's another thing that's super immersive that's really cool is whenever you're around dead bodies, there's flies. Like, you know how I was talking about earlier with the mask, where there's like water droplets get on the mask when it's raining out, or like you're standing under, like if you're in the metro, because you're in the metro a lot in the game, so if you're standing under any running water or dripping water, the water will get on your mask, so it's not just rain when you're outside. If you're around dead bodies, there are flies that buzz around and land on your mask and land on your screen, like it's really there, right in front of you. Like it's landing on your mask or on your face, and it's like, whoa, that's so cool. That's so immersive. I mean, it's nasty. It's a fly, but it buzzes around real quick and then leaves. It's not like gross really or anything. And yeah, it's just Metro games are fuck. They're so cool. And the guns feel I think the guns could feel a bit more realistic, and I think they pull that off in Metro Exodus a lot more than the first two games, because you can like take attachments off more realistically. You can work with attachments, and you have a bit more of an inventory system. Not an inventory, but you have more of a backpack that you can actually go into. Whereas with the first two games, you just had throwing knives and pipe bombs, and that's all you really had. You couldn't really craft anything. Whereas you can craft pipe bombs, you can craft throwing knives, or you could attach attachments on certain guns to other guns and pick up attachments. So it's again, it's like they really honed in on different things on the later games. Yeah, I love Metro. Some another game series again that I've been really loving and I've been finding I've been enthralled with is Resident Evil. Resident Evil, in particular, Resident Evil 2, the remake. I'm not really a big fan of the originals a whole lot. I haven't really, well, I shouldn't say I'm not a big fan because I haven't really tried. I have not tried the original Resident Evil 2. I have tried the original Resident Evil 1, but the tank controls and the camera is just not up my alley. So Resident Evil 2 over the shoulder, I really love it. And I think the graphics are really amazing. I will say I bought Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 4 remake when they were on sale, and I played the Resident Evil 2 remake first, and I'm really glad because if I played Resident Evil 4 and then Resident Evil 2, I would have had a much worse opinion of Resident Evil 2. So I at least was able to give Resident Evil 2 the chance it deserved, and I was able to really appreciate it in that way. And I recommend it. It's good. It's spooky. It's scary. Having Nemesis chase after you, run after you. It's oof, man. It's scary. It's scary. I think it's one of the more scariest games in the franchise. And I think that's part of why people love it so much is because it's actually spooky. It's actually spooky. Yeah, I played Resident Evil 4, which I really love that game. I actually played the original Resident Evil 4 many years ago and fell in love with it. And that's actually when I realized I like the Resident Evil games. Although originally, very originally, how I found out and was interested in Resident Evil was I watched someone play through Resident Evil 5 when it first came out on YouTube, and I was in elementary school, and I was first getting into video games in general, but also on PC. Back then, I also watched like Aliens versus Predator, that OG game, which I really recommend that game. It still stands up really, really well today. I watched the online. Oh man, I wish I could have been there in the golden age of AVP online. Like, I tried to play online. There's only like one server, and I had 120 ping, and it was very difficult to play. And it was it was not very fun because of just it was nothing like what you would see online. Actually, after making this video, I'm gonna go watch some videos of AVP online back in the golden age. I really recommend you check it out too. It's insane how what man. But yeah, that really interested me back then. And Resident Evil 5, I watched some videos. I was like in 3rd grade or 4th grade, so it was quite young, but I was like, what is this? This is so cool. I remember being interested in the inventory and gold system, like jewels and the inventory in between missions. I remember being interested in that even back then. So I had some gaming experience. I played like a whole lot of GameCube games and N64 games. So I kind of understood games back then, even in like 3rd, 4th grade. Like I was playing Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, a bunch back then. I have so much nostalgia for that game. I gotta play that again. It's been so long. I'm dying to play that game, and I don't really want to emulate it. Maybe I'll look into buying a GameCube and playing that game again. I like getting authentic GameCube games. I wonder how much a GameCube costs nowadays. I wonder. I want a GameCube again. Oh my goodness, I want a GameCube. Okay. I'm looking into that. But yeah. Oh, Resident Evil 4 was on GameCube too, but I never had it. I wanted it. I remember being in GameStop and being like, whoa, that looks cool. I wanted my parents to get it, but they were like, nope. You are not getting such a mature game at that young age. But I then played I saw people like I watched Markiplier play through Resident Evil Village back when it first came out, and that was a big game I wanted to play in the series, but I didn't have a good computer to be able to play it. I couldn't run it, and I didn't have a console to play it on either, nor would I want to play it on console, quite frankly. PC gaming. Then I got into I actually, this is a very big learning lesson for me, was getting into Resident Evil 7, because I very much was reading the game by, I was the quote, like reading a book by its cover. I very much, just off of the screenshots and of the game on the Steam store, I judged it very heavily and was not really interested in playing it, because I thought it was just going to be very, I did not think I would like it. I'll just put it that way. I really, really, really did not think I would like it, and I judged it by its cover. But then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll play it. I'll buy it and play it. It was 80% off, or 75% off during this summer sale. So I got it for like five or $6, maybe $7. I don't know. It was very cheap, and I love it. It is one of my favorite games in the series now. Like, I really, really like it. In some ways, I know part of why I like it so much is because it's new. I really like that initial craze for the game will die off eventually for me, but I'm really enjoying it. I played through it on every difficulty so far, and I speedrun it for the 4-hour achievement so I can get all the unlocks. And when the first time I did Madhouse difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty in that game, I did a challenge where I wouldn't use any pistols. So I didn't use any pistols throughout Madhouse difficulty, which was insanely hard at first. It was really, really difficult at first. I had to like stab the enemies. I don't want to spoil it much if you haven't played it, which I really recommend you do. Really recommend you do. But the enemies, like, I had to stab the enemy 30 times before I could kill it, which was really difficult because it could basically like one pump you instantaneously if you're not careful. And yeah, I just really love Resident Evil 7. And I've also, I mean, obviously I love the Dark Souls games a lot. Dark Souls 1 was the first real game that I fell in love with ever, besides maybe Wind Waker, but I was too young to really appreciate that game for its full value at that age. So Wind Waker is definitely one of the games Dark Souls 1 when it first came out. And also that is, so I started playing Dark Souls back in 2012, like 2013 on Xbox 360. I still have the original disc on 360. It's on my bookshelf. I technically could be looking directly at it, but it's pitch black in my room, so I can't see where it's at. But I'm looking in its general direction right now. Really love Dark Souls games, which I think I'll talk about the Dark Souls games in another video. I need to go make food and I have to go to the bathroom really bad. And the last time I tried to pause my recording, I accidentally stopped the video. I don't know how, because I don't have the keybind bound to stop video, but somehow was this deep sleep? Nice. Okay. I accidentally stopped recording, and ironically, it was when I was playing Minecraft and I was showing you my world, which I'm kind of glad I didn't get to finish that video and I scrapped it, because I have built so much since I made that video that I could really show you a lot more. And it's only been like 2 weeks since I tried to make that video. So I do plan on making showcasing my world, what I've got so far. I like this, being able to talk through things while I'm playing Minecraft. I'm finding it extremely easy to be able to collect my thoughts as I'm digging out this room, I guess. Giantess room, but it's a room. And I'm finding it easier to dig out this room because I would have to listen to a podcast or something because I would just get so bored just digging this out and doing nothing else. So talking about this is it's a win-win because I get to get my thoughts out, get to get them out easier and more fluently, and get closer to what point I want to make. And I'm being able to do what I gotta do in a easy way. But yeah, I'm glad I made this video. I know it's probably like, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes long. I'm gonna guess this video is my initial reaction was 44 minutes. But I feel like I've been talking longer than that. So I'm gonna guess 58 minutes. It's 58 minutes long. I wonder how long it is. But yeah, I feel like I've been able to not only express, I was actually able to process a lot of things. And I think this is a very beneficial way for me to be able to process it, because in the past I, talked to myself like this, but I wasn't really able to get as much out or think about as much because I was more so talking to myself. And now I feel like I'm talking to someone, sort of, whoever is watching this. Maybe you're watching this, maybe you're not, who knows? Maybe you're watching this, it's 5 years after I started uploading videos, and I am more popular now, and you're going back and watching my older videos. This is an old video. You're watching something I made a long time ago. The year is 2028 or something. I don't know. But we'll see if I make more videos. If I do, I really do want to just share what I care about more. Try and get better at that and get over this fear. And the only way I can really get over this fear of sharing about myself and about what I care about is to do it. And to find more confidence in the actual act of doing it. Obviously, another part of that would just be having someone to share with that I know is safe. Hopefully I build a community. If I do build a community, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of pretentious of me to think that I could build a community. But if my channel builds a community, I really hope to build a community that is caring, empathetic, and is not quick to judge or quick to assume things. So much of things online today are so hateful and angry, and the ways people speak is quick to assume and to judge and call people stupid. Like, I was watching a video, I started to watch a video, but I had to stop because it was just too much, of a person who had some very, very good intellectual points, had very good insights into things, and it was very much like I could learn a lot from what he had to say. But the entire time, he very much was being, like, basically calling people stupid and moronic for not understanding something or not even knowing things. And he was very much coming across as literally saying, I'm better than you, I could best you in things, I'm the best. And just being very, very aggressive. And I find I'm not trying to speak ill of him. I'm just trying to speak facts of, I'm not going to say even who it is, but to show an example that I feel like is a bit more of a niche case of just how aggressive he was being. But overall, people online have become very, very close-minded and quick to say things aggressively instead of trying to view things from the other person's perspective and be mutually respectful. That, I think, is what has massively been lost on the internet. People don't respect other people as human beings. There are so many people who have a platform who abuse their platform to grab the pitchforks and lambast people horrendously and point vitriol and hatred towards the person. Yes, what those people are doing is irresponsible and hurting other people, but that does not give you the right to do the same to him, to them, whoever it is. Respect other people just in general. And if you want to make the world a better place, start by respecting those that you don't agree with and treating them kindly because they are objectively, it's the right thing to do, but realistically and practically, if they are doing something you don't agree with and that's hurtful, you are far more likely to get them to listen and to care and to see things from your perspective if you are kind and show them the respect instead of opening up immediately and saying you are a moron, like this person kept saying, or in this example, like I was ending the video, but I this is an extremely passionate topic for me. I very much am extremely disappointed in people with how they treat others online and the words they use and the approach and irresponsibility they have. And I want to reflect on, obviously I need to reflect on how I speak as well. Maybe there are ways in which I just spoke about that I could have done better. So I'm going to think on that. And if there's something, in general, anything that I talked about today, if there's an insight you have on it or your opinion, I want to hear about it. I genuinely do. I want to read your comment. And I really do care about the interaction. And I think that is one way, going back to the topic before, of how it could be more back and forth, how it doesn't have to be just a one-way selfish interaction or endeavor, is for you guys to interact. And maybe you're scared to speak your opinion. Maybe you're scared to put your thoughts out there. And I encourage you to... Why do I have 0 XP? What the hell? Oh, right. I enchanted this pickaxe. Wow, I got distracted there. I encourage you to just share what you care about as well, because I think there's probably a lot of people who are afraid, just like I am, to share what they care about and to interact in the comments. I am terrified of a community. I am terrified of people. I am terrified of interacting with people. I am terrified of being close to people. I am terrified of people. But that doesn't mean that I should just give up and not try to interact with others. To do it regardless of my fear. And over time, I will experience things. I will grow in my confidence, but I will experience the good and healthy and safe ways to interact with other people. And that will give me faith. You know, if you have an avoidant or anxious personality attachment style, I think in particular avoidant, I don't know about anxious, but with avoidant, to get over that, you have to have a secure attachment with someone, and for someone to show you that it's safe to be with someone, to show you what love really means and matters. And I think that's what Tony has done for me. and my therapist, but he's, you know, he's my therapist, so it's kind of difficult. Granted, I've seen like, I think 7 or 8 different therapists now, and he is by far the most caring in the way that is secure and helpful that I needed. So it's, even though he's my therapist, and it's, you know, I do not want to devalue how much he's helped me and how much he matters to me. And I think it's just the awkwardness of like, he's my therapist, that I don't want to build a codependent or too close of a relationship with him. That's what I'm afraid of. Because I think, I think this is a bit of a personal information. Maybe I shouldn't share this, but I very much with my therapist, like, I could, you know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm too personal, too personal. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here. I have not eaten yet today, and I still gotta go to the bathroom. And I don't want to mess up my recording. So I will catch you in the next video. I really hope this helped you, and I really want to hear your thoughts down in the comments. So yeah, have a wonderful day.